Try again. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my connection kept buffering. Please forgive me if it buffers. I'll come back and start a new live.
As you were saying, I would come back and start a new live. I'm like, no matter how many times we're gonna get through this interview, okay? The devil will not stop us today. All right. But let's get right back into where anything happens. Like I said, I met him at a Christmas party, Samson. I met him at a Christmas party for this social, no, what was it? A series called Drama Queens that came on back in the day.
Oh yeah.
And they had a cool Christmas party. And so that's where I met Samson. He performed that night, and I met a lot of cool people. And then, like, over the years, we only, after that night, we didn't see each other again for years later. Like, we just kept in touch over social media. And then once I moved here to LA, 5 years later, we bumped into each other in Palm Springs. And we've been working and talking about creating and, he's been using his platform to, take care of him. And he's been showing me stuff while I'm watching him constantly succeed in the business. So that's my story to where we are to today. Now I'm working on like stuff like this where you have more people having conversations instead of just talking to each other or bashing each other online, actually having a
Yes.
face to face and really seeing it from people's point of view. But go ahead.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. And that's how it should be. We should be having conversations. And that's why I created my platform so that everybody can come on and have a conversation and just relax. This is like the comfort zone for everyone.
Right. All right. What's your next question?
Yes. My next question for you is who or what is some of your favorite actors that you would love to collaborate? If you've had a dream collaboration, what would your dream collaboration be? Who would you like to work with?
Look, I'd have started the dead list, so let me get the alive list. Are we back? We're good?
I
I
think
saw it
we're back.
buffering, so I didn't want to skip and say, okay, we're
Okay.
back. Um, I definitely want to work with Denzel Washington. I want to work with Will Smith. I want to work with, I know his last name is Channing, something Channing. He played in Dance, not Save the Last Dance. I can't even think some of his work. I just love the way these particular gentlemen work, and I just kind of want to be up close and work with them so I can learn from them more than anything. I definitely want to work with Halle Berry. I would love to work, and Meryl Streep. I would also work with her. There was this, and it's funny because there's some people I want to work with who are not famous. There's a few professors that I had in college that I would like to work with. Just to, when I want to work with these people, not just to work with them to say I work with them, but to learn from them in the process. Because there are things that they've done and over their arc of becoming the professionals that they are that I want to sit and be like have a one-on-one conversation on how to do me better as an artist.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's always good to go back because I know a lot of actors that go to acting school and things like that, and they always shout out their coaches and things who've helped them get to where they need to be. So it's always good to look
Oh
back. It's
yes.
interesting you said that.
Yeah, I definitely want to shout out to my the AAU family. Okay, thank you so much for the structure and discipline. One of my professors said that actors are one of the laziest artists, and we are because we don't live in the present moment, which makes the scene more real than thinking about, okay, let me say this scene, and then let me think about the fact that I'm getting some coffee after this, and some people don't even go to the fact of doing a character builder or all these little cool techniques you can use to remember your lines and become truthful under imaginary circumstances. So I'm glad that I had my professors, put me in my place, as I would say.
Okay, so let's get to your roles. Now, you've mentioned one of them in the beginning of the interview. Love the One You're With, and Party, and Play. So, out of both of these roles, which one was your favorite portraying the main character in?
Definitely love the one you with. Party and Play. The thing about Party and Play is I was there the moment that it was inspired. And those are like no one ever really talks about that, but when you're an artist, those inspired moments, like we're working on your vision right now. You know what I mean? At some point you had to think to do this. So I was there for the inspiration of it. So with that one, I was just happy to be just see it all the way through. I was there from the start. But Love the One You With, I was a little bit more hands on. And the role that I got to play was definitely to me like the help for the comic relief. You know what I mean? Like the sassy comic relief one. Because I was always pointing out things as I'm like going through the movie. So when you view it after it's done, it's like, oh, okay, I see what my role was for. When you're doing it, it's like, why am I saying this? Why am I doing this? But when the whole picture comes together, it's quite beautiful. So yeah, Love the One You With. I'd say my role on there was more enjoyable.
Okay, okay. So, what genres do you see yourself portraying in the future? Like more comedy, more romance, more drama, more mystery?
I I want to mix them all up. So I want to have a history drama. I want to I want to have a dramatic history drama. I have a script that I'm coming up with where now that we're able, thanks to Moonlight, which I always want to give a shout out to, was the first LGBT Black
Yes,
LGBT um uh, uh, it wasn't it was an Oscar, right? It's Oscar. I try to get my awards right. Oscar, right? That was
yes,
a milestone for us. But also that movie showed that we're all not all about sex. There are stories. We're people. We have feelings. We lost people in the hood too. You get what I'm saying? So I want to work on stories like that, romantic stories for the LGBT, where we're not just seeing the heteros on TV kissing and stuff, but we don't
yes.
also have to be so overstepped. You know what I'm saying? We Every time you look at a gay person back in the day, it was always some kind of innuendo that was sexual, and that's not all about. We have day-to-day lives. I have two dogs. I'm going through stuff. I want to talk about that too, not just my sexuality, but we're good. We're back. We're back. Hey, I told you I am with you.
I
I'm gonna
had a
stay with
That's
you
So
until it's.
Raven moment. I was staring off into space.
I do that on the daily. Okay, you should see me with my guard off. That'd be like people walking up to me like, "Oh, I have to wear sunglasses because of that." So look, when you're in public and you do it, just get you some sunglasses. No one sees it. I do it all the time. Okay, look. But
Oh my
the
goodness.
genres I want to do, I want to start mixing up the genres now and find ways to just constantly keep evolving the entertainment business. I mean, if we don't, it's going to get stale and boring, and then we're going to be without. So we definitely don't want that.
At all. So my next question for you is, what keeps you motivated? Like, I know with all of us being on the inside, being away from our family, social anxiety and things like that is at an all-time high. This pandemic has really torn a lot of people. Like, a lot of people have really just lost hope. And we all need something that keeps us grounded. So who or what inspires you to keep going?
You said it already, my family. My
Mm,
family is the most amazing, supportive people um, I have ever met in my life. And in this journey that I've lived in San Francisco, New York, and here, I still go back to DC to make sure that my mom used to say I come home for hugs. Because I tell people there's different types of hugs. There's the people who hug you and they hug you on your shoulders, and they're just like, I genuinely want to, be there for you and love you. And then on my journey, I've learned that there's that uncomfortable hug, and they hug you in your lower back, and they're trying to feel on something. You know what I mean? That's those untrustful hugs, right? But no, my family is definitely the base of all of this. As I talk about my name, my name is Jeffrey L. Jones Dickson. The Dickson is like the soil that helped grow the seed. Jones is the roots. There's the bark of the tree, which would be the L, and then of course when you look at a tree, you notice it by its leaves, right? So that would be the Jeffrey. But I need my roots and my soil to be the guy I am today.
I love that. I meant to ask you what did your name meant because I had a guest on yesterday. His name was Keon Taylor, and his name means king and the exalted one. So many different things. Like it has so many meanings to it. But everybody's name has a meaning to it. So I meant to ask you that question as well too. So my next question for you is, where do you see yourself in your career in the next few years? Because I see so much for you, like your career is exploding and taking off and doing so many other things. So where do you see yourself with your career in the next few years?
Um, Constantly just creating, constantly just doing things that are constantly making people think outside of the box and shaking them up. I'm really working on becoming a motivational speaker. Part of my, we can use ministry in this situation, is teaching people about loving themselves and validating themselves. I feel like a lot of people, we go from parents to great to school to supposed to be getting married and having children, but they never leave time for you in there to worry about yourself. You're supposed to be finding yourself through all of these challenges, and sometimes you just want to work on self without needing to go to work, go to school, deal with the spouses and the kids. You know what I mean? So I want to teach people that before you take on these lifelong, journeys with all these other people, to just make sure that yourself is important. I'm so proud of people like yourself who took the time to actually stand in the mirror and say, baby, let's talk, let's fix, let's do. Because it's important. Everybody else is looking for somebody else to tell them how amazing they are. And honestly, just there, babe, just looking at you, you told yourself today. We talked about the dress. You know what I'm saying? Those things that you saying. This is how the look is gonna be. This is the final art product of today. Tomorrow may still be something different. But validate yourself. Make yourself look beautiful. Tell yourself that you're gorgeous. Don't wait for somebody else. That's all I want to do in my work. I want to teach people to love themselves. Like that'll make peace on earth, honestly.
Absolutely. And Audrey Hepburn has a quote like this that for my ladies out there, she says, happy girls are the prettiest girls. So I always try to live my life carefree and happy and just without a care in the world, live life without regrets.
You know what? How about accepting the fact that you are the grace? You know what? They always say, looking for God's grace. You are God's grace. You are the grace. So just accept that about yourself. I'm what God expects me to be. And if I don't like about myself, then self needs to change it, not somebody else telling you need to change it.
Absolutely.
I love that.
100%. 100%. Shout outs to Marco D. Prince. Hey, Marco. Hear Me Out podcast. Make sure you guys go and check him out. Valone88. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Shout outs to everybody just coming in. We're going to do a little game with Jeffery before we conclude this interview. Well, it's two actually. The first one is the rapid five. So you have to tell us 5 things that Jeffery can't live without.
Okay. All right, I can do this. Marijuana, God, my family, my dogs, pizza.
That's 5. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's about to get a little spicy. So Miss Stevie is about to get put in the hot seat. So Jeffery gets to ask me questions uncensored. I don't know what he's going to ask me, but this is the segment I like to call Turn the Tables. So take it away, Jeffrey.
Okay. Cool. Tell us the story about the dress that you're wearing today.
Um, it's a,
How it became a part of your life.
I saw this dress and I said I wanted to, well, as a woman, as you grow, as you get older, I just turned 28 last Sunday. So I'm
Happy
not
belated
the,
birthday.
thank you so much.
Well, wait, I gotta do this for you. Happy birthday to you. Hey,
I got chills. um, oh my goodness. I saw this dress and I said, this is you becoming a woman. This is you embodying your womanhood, your femininity, your sensuality. You can be sexy without having to take your clothes off. But more importantly, this is who you are. You're bold. You're fearless. So I said, when I put on this dress today, when you dress, when it comes to fashion, fashion is about attitude. And me, when I walk into a room, because I'm 5'7", 200 pounds, I'm not the smallest girl, but I'm very curvaceous and I'm
hey,
blessed.
that means you stand, and you know what? Blessed, exactly, and that means you stand out. Okay.
Yes. And the thing about it is, when I dress for myself. It's all about confidence and how you carry yourself when you walk into a room. And that's what I tell people all the time. That's what fashion should be. Fashion should be about attitude. If you want to wear a denim jacket, wear a denim jacket. If you want to wear a leather jacket and it's the type of weather to wear it because it's getting colder, wear it. But put your own flavor to it. And I love New York fashion, so that's where I get a lot of inspiration from. But when I wore this dress, the first thing when I saw the print, I thought of Isadine Alaya. 1991, Naomi Campbell walking down the runway, and I seen the leopard print, and I said, "Oh my God, I have to have something like that." So when I seen this dress, I said, "This is the one that I'm going to get," and I got it.
Now, this back in the day before I was, let's just say, mentally better at finances. You know what I mean? Because when you're young, you tend to want something and you just go get it and not think about the long term of your decision. But now,
Hmm.
did you just impulse buy it, or did you old school save for it? Is what I call when you stick a little bit of your paycheck away. And yeah, how did that happen? Did you just like boss up in there and just swipe the card, or did you have to prepare? You have to save for it?
The reasonable thing to do is save. So I save for this dress. Like if
There
I
you
see
go.
something, I'm always saving. My mom tells me that too because I'm an impulse shopper. Like I love to shop. I love hair and makeup. I'm yes, I believe in saving. So especially when this thing even hit, nobody predicted that this would ever even hit us. So a lot of people started figuring out ways to bring in income to do things. So save. That's the way to do it. If you really want something, save for it.
I agree. I have a speaker I bought, and I tell people I old school save for it because I've been taking care of myself, since I've been a kid, but I still learn to do that in the process. It's like rewarding yourself for getting something that you and when you do that, it gives you time to think, do I want this one or do I want that one? Because by the time it comes time to buy it, you may change your mind. You know what I mean? But you at least had gave yourself time to think about it. So impulse buying is always fun. I do it at the grocery store, but now when it comes to big items and something that will remind you like that dress will, this is a game changer for you.
Absolutely. 100%. 100%. And that's how it should be. Um, my guests get to ask as many questions as they want to. Hi, Mel Safe Space. Make sure you guys go and follow her, Black owned, and she's all the way in the UK. And make sure you guys follow her other page, Mel's Desserts. Her lollipops are delicious. One of them has vodka infused into it. So if you're into that, definitely go and check it out.
Who's not into a vodka infused treat? Okay.
Oh my goodness. Do you guys have any questions for myself or our very special guest today, Jeffrey, ladies and gentlemen? This is such a great interview.
Well, thank you. Yeah, this is a pleasure to come. I'm so happy you reached out to me. I was so excited. I was like, yeah, yes to the interview. But do COVID, when the movie came out, it was COVID, so we wasn't able to do like a big soiree type thing. So I still haven't got that red carpet treatment yet, but I'm sure my next project will definitely. I'm manifesting the. I don't even want it to be a red carpet now. I want to be a gold carpet treatment. There you go. I'm going above the red.
And that's it, rightfully so. Shout out to Stevie Barnett, the singer. His new hit single, Somebody Else, just dropped today. I had to throw that plug in there. Make sure you guys go on all streaming platforms. It is out right now. Smile to the skies and smiles. Yes, I believe, and I'm glad that you brought that up. Manifestation, I'm a firm believer of that. Um, Here's the thing right here. Whatever you put out in the universe is what you definitely will get back in return. And I'm a firm believer that if you put out good energy, you will attract good energy. And I'm pretty sure everybody has remembered this quote right here: your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, I've had to cut a lot of people off just to protect my peace. And I can say finally, for right now, I'm definitely at peace. Like, you guys can see the glow. That's just not highlighter, but that's the glow of happiness. That's the glow of she's a new woman.
You,
She's,
you see it on my? I
yeah.
see it's right there. I ain't even got that's just the shine right there. Y'all see it?
So that's what it's all about, just finding yourself and discovering yourself on a new journey. There's nothing wrong with starting over and rewriting your chapter. Trust me, I've had to tear out a couple pages to just get that chapter correct. But
Okay, I have had a few derails. I recently had a kaboom. Okay, they don't talk about that when you're younger. That when you hit 30, there might be a kaboom. Derails I've got used to. That the kaboom was like, huh? What do
right,
you mean I have to start completely? Oh, what? Completely from the start? What? I told someone today that you remember playing with Sonic the Hedgehog, with Sega Genesis,
yes, the
and
game.
you got
Yep.
hit with
Hmm.
right things fall out of them. That's how I feel. Like all over again, start from the start. That's all right. If that's what you want me to do, I'm gonna show you I was a beast before. I'm gonna be a beast again. You feel me? But no one talks about the 30. You have the midlife crisis at 50, but not the kaboom at 30. You know what I mean? I'm gonna teach about prepare for the kaboom. Okay.
I'm 28, so it's slowly approaching. Like, everybody, my sister literally cried when she turned 30. Like, I literally am kind of scared and anticipating them. I'm just like, okay, that's a huge milestone. So just celebrate it. Just celebrate it.
Yeah.
You were saying about turning
But no,
25?
yeah, I would say like, and all I can say is live. I'm 35 now, and I've embraced that. But I was 25 for like 5 years. I decided, why should I be not? You know what I'm saying? I feel like any age you live before, you can relive it. Okay, don't go as far back as 2 and 3. But if you want to relive these ages, go ahead. But you're on the right path by allowing only good energy around you. Because once you allow any energy around you, that's where all what they say, more problems, more money, more problems, more people, more
Yes.
problems. They should say that. It's not more money, more problems. It's more people, more problems. Because less people, less problems. But keep your friends close, but your loved ones even closer. You feel what I'm saying? And
And
don't keep the enemies too close. That's some bullshit. Keep them away from you, baby. Get your enemies away from you. Do not keep them close. Keep them far away. But be prepared. Be prepared when they're ready to come back in. That's all you got to do.
oh, yes. And who was it that said something about negative Nancy's? It was Mel Safe Space. Shout outs to her. She said something in one of her posts on her websites, and it was talking about negative Nancy's and just getting rid of that energy out of your life. When you let go of negative energy, when you let go of the dark clouds that are hanging over you, it's like a weight has been lifted off of your back, and you feel so much better. And I can tell you, for me, for the past few days, even though my old page is gone, it's, my interviews and stuff up there is still up there, thank God. But it's nothing wrong with starting over. I cried a little bit when I realized that I won't have that page anymore. It's gone. All of my hard work is still up there. People know it and remember it, and they're able to, you interviewed this person, you interviewed that person. But my mom said there's nothing wrong with starting over. I love to change, and I'm always reinventing myself. So just go with the flow of things, and I've just learned to do that.
Also revert to that page. So you can always say if you didn't see it here, you can always check my other page out. It still exists. You can't get to it the way you want to, but it's still reachable. You know what I mean? And that's what matters. So yeah, I'm with moms on that. So you're starting all over with a new page, but you have access to your old one in some capacity. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All of you. Yes. Negative Nancy, Debbie Downers, and Nathan Naysayers. She did a whole article. She put it on her page about that. And it was talking about how negative people can just tear you down because they don't want to see you win. And I've had to cut some people off out of my circle like that, out of jealousy, just out of spite of being malicious and evil. These type of people do not want to see you win. They're, how can I say it? They're greedy for your success. They don't want you to be on top. They don't want you to have your power, and your power is your success. So those are the type of people that you have to cut out of your life, 100%.
All them other God children. This with this.
Pretty
You
much.
have that other side of the family. Them the other God's children right there. We won't mess with them. We them the ones God got to deal with. Mm-mm. We won't need them in our lives. We cool. That's God's responsibility. You can go over there on your
Absolutely.
side of the world and leave us on our side of the world, and we should be just fine. Okay.
Absolutely. Do we have any questions for myself or Jeffrey, ladies and gentlemen? This is a good conversation. I hope you guys are enjoying this interview. Any questions before we conclude? Because it's so good. Let me check and see if I missed anything. Thanks for the shout out. You're welcome, V Brown actor. I gotta follow since I missed this whole darn interview. Oh, it's gonna be up, and I'm gonna upload it to my YouTube channel as well too. We got some more. Yes, that's the announcement, you guys. The announcement is you guys can now watch Style by Stevie, all of my interviews on YouTube. And I just started uploading some more today. So you guys can check out the one that I did with Vanessa Williams. You can check out the one that I did with High Five. And there's so many more to come. So make sure you guys are subscribed to Style by Stevie on YouTube as well. It's beauty on there. I talk about makeup. I talk about fragrances. It's so much. And you get to check out the interviews. So finally, we've recovered them. Shout out All right, we're back. We paused for a minute. But yes, you guys can go there and check out the interviews. There's gonna be more uploading. Like it's a lot of them. I did a lot of interviews. It's a whole catalog, so you guys can go and check it out there. And some of the highlights from some of my interviews on this page as well too. So make sure you guys follow.
Proud of you and all your work. I just want you to know that. And as a matter of fact, I'm not jealous or envious, but I'm looking forward to the next time we get to interview, and I can add my little YouTube stuff in there that I'm going to be working on soon. So thank you for pushing me. I was like, okay, competition set. You know what I mean? It's a little creative competition. It's cute. It's nothing, no harm, no foul. Just some fun.
I can see you complimenting his artistic style. And Keith Bell, shout outs to him. He says you would have done great alongside Chadwick Boseman. God rest his soul. Now that's a huge compliment. Yes.
Yeah, that's what I said. When I stopped and I see you asked that question, I was just like, let me not think about the ones that's no longer here that I wish I could have had some kind of conversation with. But you know what I believe in? They're always with you. I do believe that the spirits help out when they need to. So they're there. They're just not here in the physical sense like we would like them to be. Selfish us, right?
And his legacy lives on. Like so many people, like we just mentioned him. So his legacy lives on. Like they're naming statues and everything after him. So it just shows you the impact of Black Panther and the impact that Chadwick himself had on people. Just that influence alone.
Rest in peace, bro. That's all I can say at this point. And thank you for the work. That's what I would love to say. If I could have met him, I definitely would have said thank you for the work. It was awesome. Lot to learn from. And I have a lot to work with. Like one of my professors said, the best way to learn from, as an actor is to take some of the old movies from back in the day and just sit and watch. And not only have I taken that advice, but I've been watching like old TV shows like Columbo, um, just to help build up my own artwork and take some ideas of what was going on back in the day. Now that's way back in the day, I know. No, that's back when TV used to cut off. So
Oh yeah.
I know nothing about that life. Okay, it was always a 24-hour thing for me. Okay, but to just sit and watch all these, and then there's actors that I've seen in his show that are now present today. They're older, of course, but it's good to see that that body of work is still happening, and that was back in the '60s, and this is 2021. So as long as I want it, I'm going to have it, and I'm excited that I'm pushing forward to it. I'm proud of you for pushing forward. It'll nice to see our journey in the next 20 years and see what we've accomplished. And we'll think back on this interview and be like, it was the start.
Yes. It's always good to look back at your past and look now. I was just on the phone with my brother, shout outs to K Tooks, and he was saying, my God, you've come a long way. And even I go back and watch some of my interviews and I'm just like, ugh, you've started here and look where you're at now. You went there. It's like a timeline. It's like a whole journey. And then you see yourself where you're at now at this point in life.
I love my Instagram and Facebook. I hope to never have to lose them because they go back. It goes as far as back as 2013 on Instagram.
Yes.
And I'm very honest about what I post. I don't post anything that I call it. If it ain't TMZ approved, I don't post it. But I just make sure that I'm as real as possible with my Instagram. I call it impulse posting. When you feel like you haven't posted in a while, you just got to post something. I don't do that. If it's not a natural feeling, I don't put it on my pages. Everything is very calculated because this is how people actually get to know me and what I'm capable of doing is through what they see on social media. So I have to be careful as well about what I post, even though I may have a unique Twitter. I still am very careful about what I post.
Absolutely. The same here. With me, I like to post stuff that grabs people's eye and attention. I'm just fearless with it. And it makes you think. Like if it's a fashion image or a piece of furniture, something, people are just like, okay. Like someone that I had on my show, he said that you have on my other page, he said that you have a very prolific eye when it comes to pictures. Like me.
But go ahead, what were you saying?
Yes, I was saying that even as a baby, I've always envisioned pictures, envisioned things, and then later on, it just came to to reading the words. But pictures, imagery, I've always been like that. I love looking at things. I love looking at art. I love looking at stuff that captures the eye, and it's great to see what a photographer is thinking once it's captured on lens.
Yes, I'm proud. See, that was a gift that you were given at a young age that you pushed through. That's what we're supposed to do. All the little gifts that we think wasn't a big deal, or things that we did when we were younger. That's like to some people it's extravagating. Extravagating. That's not the word. What's the word I'm looking for? Extra. I'm saying the word wrong. Help me out. Extraordinary. That's
Yes,
called extraordinary.
extraordinary.
Yeah, they see as out what we do is something that's easy to us, extraordinary to them. It's mind blowing to me because I'm like, okay, like to me, leaving home and traveling is no big deal, but to my family, it's a huge milestone. And I'm like, I was going to do this regardless, but okay. Thank you so much for the
Mm-hmm.
love. I didn't see it as a milestone or something extravagant. I'm still saying that word wrong, but you get what I'm saying.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, any more questions? This is such a great interview. We're just carrying on conversation. Any last minute questions before we conclude? We could talk all day.
We could, because this has been fun.
Wait a minute. Okay. I see you guys are just coming in. Welcome back if you're just coming in. Any last minute questions before we conclude this interview, ladies and gentlemen? Well, I guess that concludes it. So I'm going to allow my very, very, very special guest, Jeffrey, to leave people with some encouraging words before we conclude this interview, ladies and gentlemen.
Never forget to love yourself. Never forget to tell yourself that you're beautiful. Every day you wake up, make sure you say, hey, you are the most amazing person in the world. Seduce yourself. Let
Yes.
yourself know that everything that you got going on is amazing.
Okay.
And I love you. It's all it is. I love you. And as if you love you and I love you, that's two people right there that love you. That's my word for the day.
That's right. All right, fashion dolls, take care. We love you all. And special thanks to our very, very, very special guest, Jeffrey L. Jones Dickson Jr. Thank you so much for an incredible interview, and I look forward to speaking with you again in the future.
Same here. Have a great day.
You
God
too.
bless.
Take care.